Hello YouTube, Canadian Edge here, and it is time for a knife review. The knife we're going to look at today, it is from Kershaw, and this is the Kershaw Heist. It boasts a blade length of 3.2 inches, open it is 7.6 inches, and closed it is 4.4 inches. The steel on this, it is a D2 steel with a drop point blade. The weight, it is 2.82 ounces. The handle on this, it is a polymer fiberglass reinforced nylon. It depends which description you're reading, but yeah, it is a polymer. It feels good and solid, so that's good. The pocket clip on this, it is reversible and tip up, and it is a deep carry, so that's nice, liking that. And the lock on this, they have put the crossbar lock on. They call it Duralock, but it's the crossbar locking system, and yeah, it works pretty good on there, so that's a nice addition as well, liking that. It has dual thumb studs for opening, and they are comfortable and well placed, so they work great. The pivot on this, it is bronze washers, but it still works pretty decent. And if you saw the unboxing, you could see that it wasn't quite as smooth as it is now, but it's getting better the more I break it in. And the reason I'm not getting it very well, there we go, that's better. That's how it should work. Anyway, yes, they do have bronze washers in there on the pivots. There is some jimping on the back of the scales there to give a little bit of grip, and nothing on the blade though. And it does have a lanyard hole. So I liked this knife when I saw it in the store. Thought I would check it out. You can see it is mostly centered for the most part. It's pretty darn close, and there is no blade play, which is nice. So as I was saying, I saw this in the store, checked it out, liked it. It is a nice looking knife. The only thing I'm a little upset with, and I've already expressed this in the unboxing, is that you got fiberglass reinforced nylon, a D2 blade. The only big change that Kershaw made to this knife is they put a crossbar lock on it. But the price went from, like, at most I think this should be $50 here in Canada. It's 110 or something here in Canada. Just because you put a crossbar lock on, Kershaw, sorry, but yeah, might want to rethink that one. But as far as the knife goes, happy with the knife, and we'll get into that kind of stuff here in just a few moments. Let's do a size comparison. This, I mentioned, it kind of reminds me of the bug out a little bit, the handle part of it. The way it's designed, it feels a little bit like the bug out, and I happen to have the bug out here for size comparison, and you can see that they are pretty close to the same size, and you can see they kind of did copy the design a little bit. It's a little thicker than the bug out, but you got the jimping back here on the bug out, you got the jimping here. And anybody that's felt the Heist, it kind of gives you the feel of the bug out, only bug out is much lighter. Anyway, we'll put that back because we're still doing our size comparison. Get a little sidetracked there. And also the Ontario Rat 2. So you can see it's a bit of a mid-size knife. And that's the size that I prefer myself, but that's just me. And when we check it out with bigger knives, we got the Civivi Cogent and also the Sencut Saxi. You can see it's a little bit shorter than both those knives. So as I say, it's a mid-sized knife. I've been carrying it a lot actually the last little while. Been using it for lots of different tasks and very impressed with how it's performed. It's a great little knife and very happy with it. Sharpness test. Let's get into that before we get into too many more details. So it did come quite sharp, and the D2 will hold an edge, and I've used this a lot for opening packages and cutting boxes, and it cuts through boxes very well. And it also you know, those plastic packages that you get things sent to you in, it cuts through that stuff quite well too. I was very happy with how it cut that, and I cut a few zip ties off of my grandkids' toys, so it cuts through zip ties without any real problems. How about our pretend rope? Yep, cut through that and through the twine. Yeah, no problem. Can we even double cut the twine? Whoops. Can if I hang on to it properly. Come back here. Try that one more time. Yeah, it cuts it. So yes, it does cut that stuff very easily. So what I was going to say, I've used this knife quite a bit. Really like the aesthetics of it. It's a decent looking knife. I like the way they swedge the top of the blade here, the blade profile. It has a good look to it. Liking this style of the handle. It's good. This is kind of a nice touch aesthetically. It gives it a nice look, and it's, yeah, aesthetically it's a nice looking knife. At least to me, it's my style of knife, and I like that. Ergonomics feels great. Ergonomically, you got a good hold on it. As I say, cutting boxes and that, it did really well. No issues there. Cut all that stuff fine. The grip on it, very good grip. Really liking the grip. If you can see the pattern on there, it's got lots of grip, so there would be little excuse for dropping this saying, oh, it slipped out of my hand, because it's not really going to slip out of your hands that much. Pocket fit, it folds into a nice slim knife, so it fits in the pocket really well, and no issues there. And it's got a good edge on it. It has cut through everything I've needed it to cut through, and still going strong, so liking that. And I only had a couple complaints about it. So of course my first complaint is the pocket clip. They didn't recess it, make it flush. It sits up, so that's going to be wear and tear on the pocket. Not the end of the world, I know. Not a big deal, but when you're paying over $100 for a knife, I'd like to see them pay more attention to that kind of detail, because it is something that is viable. And so yeah, I'd like to see them work on that. I prefer, if I was designing this knife, I would prefer some jimping on the back of the blade here, just to give you that extra purchase, because your thumb does want to slide. There's a bit of a thumb ramp there, but it wants to slide up that. So I'd like to see a little bit of jimping there, just to give you that extra purchase when you're hanging on to your knife, and make it that much more solid grip. Because I don't push back here so much, I push more up here when I'm slicing and that. So having that little extra jimping would be a little nice. And again, for the price that you're paying, having bearings in the pivot, this knife would be so smooth if it had bearings in the pivot. and it would make it just all that much nicer. So Kershaw, throw a little jimping on, and throw some bearings in on the pivot there. If you're going to charge, the prices, bigger prices, let's go the extra mile with the little added benefits in there. But as far as the knife goes for an everyday carry, if $100 isn't a big deal to you for a price tag, I'd suggest checking it out. It's a great little knife. As I say, I've been carrying it a lot lately, the last couple weeks. It's probably been the main carry that I've done the last couple weeks, and I really like using it. Feels great in the hand, works great, does all the jobs that I need it to do, and it's fun to fidget with. So if you're a person who likes fidgeting with your knives, it also has that fidget factor in there. So would highly recommend this as an everyday carry, but it's not your budget everyday carry, unless you consider $100 your budget price. But yeah, it's a great little knife. It feels great in the hand. It's a little lighter knife. You guys with bigger hands, you're gonna notice that your little finger is gonna be down at the end there, but it is a comfortable grip on there, so you shouldn't have any problems. But yeah, I would definitely recommend this as an everyday carry for anybody who's looking for a good knife. And Kershaw's proven over time that they're a reliable knife, at least in my books. If you've had problems with Kershaw, let me know. But I have a number of Kershaw knives, and they all work good. And this will definitely be in my roster for everyday carry. I'll be carrying this one for a while yet to come. So yes, check them out. That is the Kershaw Heist. All right, thank you for joining me on this review. Hit the like button, leave a comment, hit subscribe if you haven't already. Thanks to those who have and have been constantly watching the videos. I appreciate you supporting that way. And I've got some more reviews coming up, some more unboxings coming up, and excited to see there's a whole bunch of different knives coming out here in 2024. See what they have to offer. So we'll be doing this all again. But until we do, you stay safe and stay sharp.